Greg Showalter told us upstairs that he almost didn't play yesterday, and then he gave you 24 minutes. What did you think of how he played out there?
Well, for a kid that was practically playing on one leg, I mean, the longer the game goes, I kept debating as I watched him on the floor, do I sit him down and let him rest it a little more? But if I sit him, does the ankle stiffen up? And I kept asking him, how you doing? He's like, I'm okay. And I could tell when he ran up and down the floor, you could tell he was limping a little bit. But I tried to do some things matchup-wise with him after I watched him for the first couple minutes and try to get him on guys that went maybe more guys that he didn't have to move as much laterally with and more guys that he could just chase and run off of screens and not have to guard dribble penetration as much. So hopefully that helped him a little bit. But obviously his toughness and his leadership, that dive on the floor that he made in the last 2 minutes, that doesn't get in anybody's article or anybody's stat sheet, but that was almost a game-saving play because they have a layup at the other end, and it also flipped the possession arrow for us to at the end when we were able to press, give us another option to do other than foul if we couldn't get a trap set. So, those are, I've said all along, we've always had guys like him in the program. You can go back through the record books and pick them out, and long before we got here, this was blue-collar, lunch pail, hard hat guys that they care about the program, and they want to win in that way, and they just try to make everybody around them better by what they do and those little things that don't always get the headlines.
Just following up on that, Greg, do you buy into plus-minus? Do you look at that much? Because he was plus 13 yesterday, which led the team, and you look at the rest of his stat line, there's not a whole lot there. But, I mean, does that mean anything to you?
I'm trying to get it. Our video coordinator, AJ, is trying to get me into more since I'm more technology savvy than the former coach. And I like that stuff a little bit more, that he's trying to get me to – he's just showing me all the options and all the things we can do. And it can be – you can have paralysis by analysis sometimes too. You can give me too much information. He showed me one graph upstairs. I'm like, holy smokes, AJ, I was not an engineering major, so let's make it a little more – let's simplify it a little bit more than this. But we are looking at some things plus minus. We're starting to, dive into that a little bit more. I don't know if we'll get to that completely this year just because of the midstream change and transition that I needed other things that I had to get right first and get going in the right direction before I worried about another stat sheet to look at. So, I can usually tell by plus minus or without, I can tell you who's plus and who's minus. I know Aaron Maish was a plus, I think, and 2 when he was on the floor. I guess I got to study it deeper to understand exactly how, I heard Nigel Hayes was a minus, but Nigel Hayes, played a heck of a game. But it's just a matter of who's on the floor and that specific time, what happens. So it's something we're studying and we'll probably use deeper in the future.